What's good, man? It's your boy X, man. And look, man, I'm doing this reaction on my dog 051 Melly, man. I've been following dog for a minute. My dog out the rack. You feel me? The nigga most definitely was a savage, gang. Like a real life savage. I ain't watched this yet. So I'm gonna react to it. I'm gonna do a 2-part series to this because it's kind of long. So I'm gonna do a part 1 and a part 2. So we're gonna get right into it, man. We're gonna get right into it.
One of the most notorious gangsters in Chicago history. Given the nickname the Chirac Gravedigger, Melly is undoubtedly one of the most dangerous people to ever emerge from the Windy City, with rumors of him having caught as many as 15 bodies while participating in up to 43 different hits in multiple overlapping gang wars. Melly was as feared as he was respected. He applied so much pressure to his enemies in the streets that when he finally ended up losing his life, his ops were ecstatic, with many taking to the recording booth to diss this demonic shooter that had been terrorizing them for years. Melly really struck fear into the most seasoned Chicago shooters, with the likes of King Von rumored to have had 7 bodies of his own, celebrating Melly's death with glee in his most famous song, Back Again. While King Von gained a reputation as rap's first serial killer for his alleged 7 murders that he got away with and rapped about, many in the city had already dubbed Melly as the original serial killer of the Chicago streets. The difference is, Melly never released music, but simply rose to notoriety through his reputation as a shooter and killer, whispered in the streets by those he pressured, and extensively praised by rappers from his own gang for his extensive street
niggas, man. Them niggas looking like babies, man. Kids. Man, I would have never took a little nigga like this serious. You hear me?
The mysterious murderer has been made famous by the Chicago drill community, but until now, nobody has ever determined once and for all the extent to which Melly was indeed a serial killer who caught bodies as routinely as a regular citizen catches the bus. So today, we're going to break down once and for all the many murders of 051 Melly and determine once and for all if this legendary Chicago gangster really is the serial killer they say he is.
Nigga, man?
How do you feel about 051 Melly getting compared with King Von and Tay Savage? Like those are the 3 names that everyone's comparing them to.
No, you can't compare my brother to nobody.
One of the most reckless BDs out here, but I'm BDK, but he BDK.
We forced y'all nation, bro. We the reason why y'all got y'all name right now. You know that.
And y'all the reason why y'all got a name. Y'all got a name. It's never been no killing without killing.
Man, hey, this bus stop right here though. This a real famous place. Yeah?
It's crazy because Melly got this reputation. He ain't never even dropped any music, but everybody know him.
That's a free throw girl and Vaughn. Freedom though. I'd rather them dead than in jail.
But she be tripping, she be upset. I should be having that much playtime.
You were just saying I'm the youngest in charge out here.
I've been the youngest in charge for some years now, you know?
You scared of the dark? No. I'm one of them type of guys that be in the dark waiting for you when you gotta go pee at night.
You had just lost an artist that you just signed to OTF. So this is like the 2nd time in 6 months.
Yeah, it's the 2nd time.
And I just get you, and you don't never come back to your parents again.
I'm with the nigga that did. He don't want to be on camera though. Hit his ass over here on Pat. I got that one for news.
Stop getting on the internet talking about y'all done spanked the nigga. Look what the fuck going on, dog. Dog who just said that got his ass whacked. And it probably was for that right there. Like, niggas talk too fucking much, man. Shut the fuck up. Like, if y'all niggas out here really like that, be quiet. That's why niggas going to jail. If them niggas was alive, guess where they'd be at? Locked the fuck up somewhere.
Chino Burger. Chino Burger.
Look, doing all that trouble.
Yeah, Chino Burger. That's what they said.
I got shot 2 weeks. He is
That shit don't last.
You gonna read for a bedtime story and tuck you in?
From 600. I thought that was extinct on Tuka Grave.
When he walked down the dark alley, he ain't make it to the other end of the alley.
5 o'clock in the morning, still outside, me and my toy. Who they were the police?
Y'all know damn well y'all want finna catch me.
Man, they just killed y'all.
Who allegedly killed Melly, got charged 0078. Is that someone you friends with?
Okay. Like I said, 44K, 46K, 300K, 600K. Getting that Melly with, getting that ring.
Bro, make it to 100 years, yo. Don't be one of the last ones standing.
Yeah, you know how to move.
But all that ass got whacked. This shit wicked, man.
Yarmel Devontae Jameer Williams, better known as 051 Melly, was born on November the 19th, 1991 to a mother named Angie and a father named Yamur. Melly grew up with two siblings, including his brother Wu and his sister Kenjia. Wu's father, Jerome Golden, aka Fido, was also Melly's stepfather until he would get a life sentence in 1994 for a quadruple murder where he allegedly took part in the slaying of 4 men for selling.
That's why everybody be like that, man. That shit go back years and years. Like, everybody been killing. And like I said in my last video, man, ain't shit didn't change. Like, ain't no progression when it comes to this street shit. Like, it's nothing. It's like no evolving. It's like everything is still done the same. And y'all niggas wondering why y'all getting caught so fast. Like, because the police know how to pursue your ass. You been doing the same shit. Your daddy been doing the same shit for years. And it's like, all right, we know how to get him now. We got this shit down pat.
Drugs in the wrong turf. Fido, apparently being a member of the BDN, or Black Disciple Nation, who controlled the area where Melly grew up, a gang that we'll be discussing in more detail. Melly was also close to his 2 uncles, G Slim, who was one of the founders of the No Limit, or NLMB, gang set from the so-called east side of Chicago, who have heritage in the gang the Black P Stones, a crew known for their infamous rappers like G Herbo, Lil Bibby, and Mellow Bucks, and Kurt Mack, who was a well-known member hailing from the so-called Dro City area in Woodlawn, where the original creator of drill music, the rapper Pac-Man, also hailed from. Melly's family connections even reach all the way to the rapper Bump J, who reps the Four Corner Hustlers gang, and who was perhaps the most popular gangster rapper from Chicago before the drill era began. Clearly, gangs have been a part of Melly's life since a very young age, but interestingly, Melly's family connections could have taken his life in a completely different route than it ultimately did. Because while Melly has become known as one of the deadliest rivals of world-famous rappers like Lil Durk and King Von, they actually grew up in the same areas and circles. Melly spent his early years in the Randolph Tower, also known as the Calumet Building, or simply the Met Building, a large public housing project located at 6217 South Calumet Avenue, only a block away from the infamous O Block, aka Parkway Gardens, which guys like Chief Keef and King Von would later begin to claim. Randolph Tower was known as one of the biggest Black Disciple strongholds in Chicago during the 90s and early 2000s.
In every hood, dog, niggas beef. Like, you would be beefing with a nigga that lived literally 2 minutes away from you walking distance, dog. I don't understood that shit, man. I done been through a lot of shit in my life, so I done been there before. I done been through shit like that, but as a grown ass man, that shit sounds so motherfucking stupid. I'm not beefing with nobody, you hear me? I'm gonna get some money on your dumb ass. All that beefing shit, back and forth shit, it's cool. But niggas
Well, police discovered a gruesome double murder in a Southside Chicago apartment today after an anonymous tip. The bodies of 57-year-old Jesse Jackson, not of Operation Push, and an unidentified young woman were found murdered at 6217 South Calumet Avenue. Jackson lived in the apartment. The woman in her mid-20s lived nearby. The bodies were tied together with electrical cord, and police say there is no sign of forced entry and no weapons were found in the room.
Until their leadership was indicted for running a corporate-style drug empire in 2004, where dealers were making up to $45,000 a day selling drugs, while other members would guard the building from the roof, even making use of sniper rifles and night vision goggles. And while the gang had their headquarters in the Met Building, or the castle as they called it, they would control the drug trade across a very large area, which included the Parkway Gardens, aka O Block. But besides Melly, numerous people famous within the drill scene grew up in the Met Building, such as Chief Keef, Lil Reese, and even FYB J Mane.
Everybody that's out here for real, that's like I don't even want to really name, but like Melly, all these big time, they really from 6217, right? Straight up, like FYB J Mane, 6217, baby, like, right. You feel me? Like,
Reese from there too, ain't he?
Yeah, 6217. Reese my cousin, 6217, baby, yeah. Right. Keith, 6217, baby.
Right. All these people came out of the building. Right.
6217, baby. Capo, right. 6217, baby.
The legendary GBE Capo.
My cousin, yeah, 6217, baby. For sure. All they had 6217 babies. They had, like, it's just like when the Calumet building got took down, back when I was a shorty, you know, went to their blocks and you know that.
Build a website you love with Wix. For your words.
In fact, J Mane's father was one of the board members of the gang who ruled their operations inside and outside the building.
My pops is a man, he originated in the Calumet building, and he did get indicted, and he did get locked up in 2004, and yeah, they labeled him as a black disciple. It don't hit different when they label Pops as a black disciple. And he went down as one of them board members, bro. It do hit different. One year, my dad was a rich my childhood. Yeah, he ran a certain area from a certain part of Chicago, from the state to the lake. That's what I read in the paperwork on for them grade. Like I say, I ain't here putting it on pops. They do it different.
The Randolph Tower was eventually demolished in 2006 as part of the Chicago Housing Authority's plan to get rid of almost all of the large public housing projects in the city. But at some point, Melly's family moved to another address in the same neighborhood, located near 59th and Calumet. This area eventually becoming known as the turf of the set 600, who would later become Melly's worst enemies, as Melly's brother Wu would later recollect during his DJU interview.
I'm saying, like, we stayed there. I used to have to walk out there with my sword. Like, that's how we came out there with the sword. On 59th, that's what it was, you feel me? Like, I was in their hood, I lived in their hood, like, I walked from there. I used to walk from 59th to the 51st through the park, like, you feel me? Yeah. But when I was out on 59th, it wasn't up like how it was, you feel me? Like, had, like, look, you know, how we sneaky talking, we wasn't, like, into it, but I had secret animosity, but we ain't just nobody to play with, you feel me? So you ain't gonna do nothing you wanna do for real.
Right. That's what that shit get though.
Okay, cool.
Although Melly would seemingly keep living in the area for some time, he would ultimately become close with kids from the opposite side of Washington Park who hung around the 51st Street and were part of a gang set known as 05.
Look, let me tell you, you just mentioned up Washington Park. Let me tell you about the story, gang. It was like 2008. I'm like, nah, it was about 2006. I was young as fuck, like 15. My cousin them had on 4th of July had a motherfucking, see, I'm from Detroit. So my cousin them had a family reunion, her baby daddy in Chicago. So we drive down there. And it was at Washington Park, you feel me? There had to be about 1 million niggas out this bitch on 4th of July. You know, me being from Detroit, I'm not really understanding the politics that's going on in Chicago. So I'm thinking them niggas really ain't on shit. I'm thinking I'm from Detroit, I'm really on that. Man, I had got a headache. So I'm sitting in the motherfucking car. And this old ass lady, she had to be about 70. She walk up like, baby, take your ass in the house. These young boys will kill you around here. You ain't from around here. I'm like, nah, I ain't. Let me get my fat ass up going to the motherfucking house, man. Young as hell, but I remember it. It was around Washington Park area. For sure. But then the Chief Keef and shit started coming out, and that's when you start hearing about what's going on, but I didn't know. I was green, you hear me?
One Young Money, who were primarily identifying as Mickey Cobras. Melly is in fact the same generation as the older founding members of this gang, such as Carlos Merrill, aka Lil Los, Lance Youngblood, and Isaiah Walker, aka Zico, who were all killed in 2008 when Melly was still in high school. Particularly the murder of Zico, who is often considered as the main founder of the 051 Young Money gang, would play a role in defining one of Melly's earliest rivalries with the set known as 46 Terror, later named THF46, whose member Aki Walton was actually convicted of Zico's murder. Having had 3 people close to you killed during just 1 year before the drill culture would even escalate the gang rivalry in the city is truly tragic, and it may partly explain why Melly would eventually turn into such a cold-blooded killer that he allegedly was. However, this was only the beginning for Melly losing people around him. In July 2009, 21-year-old Dominic Barnes from the 051 neighborhood would be shot and killed, which would years later lead to THF46 member and Lil Durk's good friend THF Bezu getting charged for the murder, but he would end up beating these charges. Bezu himself would allegedly almost be killed by 051 in April 2011 when 18-year-old THF46 affiliate Quinton Turner, aka Quint, was killed in a triple shooting, where Bezu was also hit. Years later, Melly would bring up this incident while on Instagram Live with Bezu, after Bezu would claim that Melly and other 051 members were all good kids until THF forced them to hop in the streets by applying so much pressure.
Hey Melly, who forced y'all?
Look, gang, I had to part. Look, I'll fuck with Trap Lord Ross. Trap Lord Ross is the one who's doing this video right here. But how y'all think this nigga know all this information? Look at him, a white boy, he ain't even from over. How you think he know all this shit? Cause y'all niggas posting everything y'all do. Y'all telling on yourselves. And then y'all getting mad that a nigga come and do shit like this. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, y'all niggas, half of y'all wouldn't be dead or in jail if y'all would never sat down on these couches telling these people what the fuck y'all got going on. Now they making a living off your shit. And y'all looking stupid in jail, dead. Look, both of these niggas right here, you see them? Dead. This shit don't be worth it, gang.
Who the reason why we play with guns?
Who forced y'all in?
Y'all the
Who
first
forced
people
y'all in? Y'all was driving y'all mama's cars in 8th grade, bro.
See, you lying.
I wouldn't drive my mama's shit.
I wouldn't drive
y'all grammar school driving y'all mama's cars. The whole your money was the basketball players. Keep it real.
Oh, now you lying for you just said half of us ain't. You can say half the young money was basketball players. You ain't gonna say nobody no.
Hey Melly, man, half y'all was the mama's boys, man. Y'all driving y'all mama's car in 7th and 8th grade, bro.
Why y'all had to get on live and do this? Like, why y'all ain't do this shit on the phone?
You say y'all the reason why we got his name, and y'all the reason why y'all got a name. Y'all got a name.
Talking about this.
It go both ways.
Crazy.
No, it go both ways. We
can get back to that.
I don't even give a damn. You want to start this on? It's gonna go both ways.
We've been to
it's never been no killing without killing. We gonna keep it real though.
We've been into it since 07, bro.
You damn right, but it's never been no killing without killing though. We ain't gonna.
I'm saying what year somebody died from our block?
You said what year?
For sure.
You go get killed in 08. I'm keeping fun. Then somebody died in 10, right?
Never heard of him.
What? They ain't have a back play. This somebody died in 10 right there. Then you get shot in.
I got shot in 11.
All right, well, you got shot, right?
Yeah.
You got shot and then somebody checked, right? All right, we ain't gonna be.
All
right, look, we ain't gonna be doing it on the internet. That ain't for the internet.
That nigga Melly was a savage though. Like, you got shot in somebody check, right?
051's gang rivalries would begin to intensify during the early 2010s, boosted by the rise of social media and the start of the drill music movement. Perhaps the first casualty of this new era on 051's side was 18-year-old Tariq Mahdi, a.k.a. T Streets, who was gunned down in November 2011 on a quiet stretch of street in the Washington Park neighborhood. And while this murder has remained unsolved, there have been numerous different theories about who might have been behind it, with many thinking that this was actually the first casualty in the years-long war between 051 and the 600 set. After all, the murder took place very close to 600's hood. However, this theory has been challenged by many people who often claim that T Streets was in fact killed by 051's old enemies, THF-46. King Von, on the other hand, would famously name-drop T Streets in his popular song I Am What I Am, rapping how somebody tried to do a peace treaty and ended up dying like T Streets. These lyrics perhaps hinting that T Streets' murder has a backstory that might not be fully known to the people on the outside. But whatever actually happened, the fact that Melly's first alleged kill would take place only a few days before T Streets' first posthumous birthday, and Melly was certainly claiming to have been killing people in T Streets' name.
They did this nigga so ball.
On the 2nd of February 2012, 20-year-old Shaquille Rush, aka Shaq, was attending a party with his friends in the 600 set's turf. While Shaq wasn't seemingly actively involved in gangbanging, he lived in the neighborhood and was friends with many members of the 600 set. And in a picture allegedly taken on the night of the party, he can be seen with 600 members C-Day and Inky D dropping the 051 Y hand sign as a sign of disrespect to that set. Later that night, Shaq would reportedly leave the party together with a woman, and they would walk through an alley on the 5900 block of South Calumet Avenue where Shaq would possibly stop to take a leak. At this point, one or more people would appear from behind them and open fire, hitting Shaq once on the upper back while grazing the girl on the shoulder. Police and medics would then soon arrive to the scene, and Shaq would be transported to the Northwestern Memorial Hospital, where he would unfortunately succumb to his injuries. The following day, local news would report on the murder, stating how Shaq had been killed only 3 blocks away from his home on the 6000 block of South Michigan Avenue. But interestingly, Melly was living, or at least had still recently lived, right on the 5900 block of South Calumet Avenue, where Shaq was killed. But that certainly wasn't the only thing connecting Melly to this murder, because afterwards, Melly would start a years-long campaign dissing Shaq, often taunting 600 members by mentioning how Shaq had been killed whilst he was taking a leak, and most famously in one incredibly dark clip, describing to a little girl how he's exactly the type of guy who would pull off a murder while someone was peeing.
Boy, back right now.
Boy.
Or you ain't getting nothing.
Don't play with my nigga.
I'm letting you know. You know how I play out here. You don't come with that money, shawty. You come up and done missing. You talking, you don't know who I am?
Tell him stop playing with her.
You know who I am?
I know my daddy.
You scared of the dark?
This nigga was a savage.
I'm one of them type of guys that be in the dark waiting for you when you gotta go pee at night. And I just get you, and you don't never come back to your parents again. You hear me? Then your TT ain't gonna be able to save you. Your daddy, he gonna be crying somewhere like, man, she don't got nothing to do with me. Just take me.
Still, some people close to the events have denied Melly actually being behind the murder, most notably 600 veteran Tay Capone, who has openly said on his YouTube channel that Melly actually wasn't the killer. Another person often connected to this murder is an 051 member called Kiddo, who has similarly dissed Shaq on many occasions, even tweeting, "Kill Shaq, then Forget About Shaq only a few weeks after the murder, with this actually being a play on Chief Keef lyrics from his 2012 hit song 300. But whether the killer was Melly or someone else, it seems that 600 clearly considered 051 to be responsible, as they would allegedly end up avenging Shaq's death only a few months later in June, when the only 14-year-old Antonio Davis, aka Fathead, who was one of the youngest members of 051, man, but had been hanging out.
Look at this shit, man. These niggas is babies, man. These niggas still got doodle stains. Like, what the fuck is y'all outside doing, man? This is the, and look, I'm older, man. I used to be on the same type of shit, but I'm older, and I'm gonna tell you, this is failed parenting. Their parents failed them. Before anybody could ever fail any one of these motherfuckers, their parents did this. Their parents
with them since he was a kid, was walking to a store with his cousin in the Englewood neighborhood. An assailant would spot Fathead from a van before approaching him on foot and shooting him numerous times while standing over him. Nobody has ever been convicted of this murder, and in online spaces it's been a topic of intense debate for years now. But the Chicago police consider the case to be exceptionally cleared and committed by several people, most notably 2 members of the 600 set, Walter Smith, aka S. and Courtney Ely, aka C-Day, as well as a member of Lil Durk's Lamron set named Marvin Riley, aka OJ, who the police claim to have been the triggerman based on Fathead's cousin's description of the killer. Only a few days after the murder, Melly would once again begin to taunt 600 members, openly bragging how his set had killed Shaq, while claiming that 600 couldn't say they had killed anyone from his set, perhaps referring to OJ being the one who actually killed Fathead. On the other hand, Fathead's brother has seemingly put the blame directly on C-Day, who's also known by the nickname 22 Shots, writing on a tribute post to Fathead how he's 622K or 600-22 killer. In any case, the murders of T Streets and Fathead launched a years-long rivalry, which wasn't just limited to tit-for-tat killings between 051 and 600, but would become part of a larger war in the South Side between 051 and their affiliates, and numerous majority Black Disciple sets affiliated with 600, like O-Block, Front Street, Lamron, and of course THF-46, who had already been at war with 051 for years at this point. 051 would allegedly avenge Fathead's death in November 2012, killing a 19-year-old named Trey Henry, aka Trix, who was affiliated with 600. This was followed in June 2013 with the murder of 19-year-old Robert Allen, known as Lil Rob, or Beto, from the Lamron set. These murders have remained officially unsolved, but 051 has heavily claimed both, with Melly too implying that his set was behind these murders. Although Melly himself isn't often directly connected to these murders in online rumors, regardless of who had done what, 05 weren't done killing, and in September 2013, they would strike again, killing 17-year-old Leonard Anderson, better known as the up-and-coming rapper a.k.a. Capone from the 600 set. This was a devastating blow for 600, as LA was considered their most promising rapper, who had become increasingly close with other rappers in the community, like Lil Durk, who at this point had already signed a major deal with Def Jam Records and was rumored to have been in the works of helping a.k.a. Capone land a major record deal for himself as well.
He kept telling me that he's supposed to be meeting T.I., so flying to Atlanta with Dirk and meeting T.I. and like that. This what he used to be telling me, like before, like around time, he's telling me, I'm finna fly out, meet T.I. He was flying out at this point, like he went on a couple shows with Dirk.
It blows my mind. You could literally start your own business right now with Shopify. It's incredible. With
LA's murder would eventually be solved, leading to the arrest and convictions of 2 051 members, Michael Mays, aka 051 Rocco or Rockhead, and Saki Hardy Johnson, aka Lil Mick, as well as a third person named Miko Buchanan. 051 Melly, on the other hand, would once again take part in the dissing, making numerous tweets in the days following a.k.a. Capone's murder where he would make fun of him and boasting about all the people that his set had killed to avenge Fathead's death. But interestingly, Melly would often also mention Lil Durk in his tweets, making it seem that he was actually a fan of Durk's music, despite Durk being such close friends with Melly's enemies. But whether he was serious or just trolling at this point, Melly's fixation on Lil Durk would eventually become Lil Durk's worst nightmare. In March 2014, 600 would allegedly get their revenge, as 20-year-old Mark Campbell, better known as Lil Mark from 051, would be brutally gunned down in broad daylight while standing on the bus stop at 51st Street. Only a few days before his murder, Lil Mark had dropped a diss song called No Competition, a remix of Lil Durk's song Competition, dedicated diss track aimed towards the Black Disciple sets like 600, Lil Durk's Lamron, and King Von's O-Block. This song had made Lil Mark the #1 target in the streets, and it wouldn't take long before those who Lil Mark had dissed would be claiming his murder, with particularly D Rose from 600 and King Von from O-Block starting the dissing only hours after Lil Mark's death. But this time also Lil Durk, whose song Lil Mark had remixed just before dying, would decide to take the dissing to a whole new level, actually filming himself at the very bus stop where Lil Mark had been gunned down, telling people that he was in a very famous place, along with the caption, "Free THFTP," as being a member of the THF-46 set who actually made an entire song dissing Lil Mark titled Bus Stop.
Bus stop, man. Hey, this bus stop right here though. This a real famous place. You hear me? This is a real famous place, B. Hey, this bus stop is a real famous place, B. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Free my nigga team.
In online theories, this video is often considered to have perhaps been one of the biggest mistakes that Lil Durk has ever made, because while Durk was already a famous rapper, traveling all over the country, making it very hard for his ops to catch him, it seems that 051 Melly, after this video, would make it his mission to show that in the streets of Chicago, he was the one in charge, and that everyone close to Durk that still was in these streets would not be safe. Moreover, Melly had become close with Durk's old friends, as Durk and his OTF crew had a falling out with the rapper King Louie and his Mubu crew in the summer of 2013. This all came out after a fight would erupt between Mubu and OTF, together with Chief Keef's Glow Gang, while they were performing in Iowa. After this scuffle, Melly would become increasingly close with the Mubu crew's most infamous member, Mubu Crump, who DJ Academics would famously nickname the Chirac Scorekeeper due to Crump's deep knowledge about the city's gang law and his propensity to partake in online drama.
And now we're talking about the Chirac Scorekeeper. Now, if you don't know who that is, a lot of people have asked, who is a scorekeeper? Now, the person that's known as a scorekeeper is this individual that's known as Crump. Now, apparently, he's with the shits, he's a savage, but most notably, he's known for retelling hood stories on Twitter. And not only that, awarding victories. Now, he usually tells or keeps track of who the f is up, who's down, who's tied, who hit a buzzer beater, who hit a game-winning 3. He's keeping up with it. So if you want to know who the f got choked, this is a guy to ask.
Crump had previously been very close with Durk and seemingly ready to crash out for him at any moment, but now he was one of Lil Durk's worst enemies, and with Melly's notorious trigger finger and Crump's infamous Twitter fingers working in tandem, things were about to get very dark for Lil Durk. On the 31st of May 2014, only a few months after Lil Mark's death, Durk would be out in Chicago, driving around with his cousin MacArthur Swindle, who was known as Lil Durk's new rap prodigy, OTF Nunu or Newski. They would stop at a strip mall on the 700 block of East 87th Street, and Durk would go to visit one of the stores, while Newski stayed back and waited in the car. At around 3:20 PM, while Durk was inside the store, someone would suddenly approach the car, opening fire at Newski, who would attempt to drive away from the situation. Unfortunately, he'd already been hit numerous times and would crash his car into a nearby storefront window before succumbing to his injuries. Someone at the scene would even capture the moment of Lil Durk seeing his deceased cousin and breaking down, which his ops would later post on social media to mercilessly troll him. Newski's murder remains officially unsolved, but in online theories...
Look, man, if you know you beefing with motherfuckers and y'all got shit going on, y'all supposed to move better than that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know better than just be sitting in cars. I've been knowing that since I was a kid, like 12, 13. Nigga, don't sit in no motherfucking car. When Durk went in that store, you should have went with him. You feel me? Like, ain't nowhere in the world I would have been just sitting in no motherfucking car knowing what's going on outside, and especially knowing who I'm with. Like, nah, man, y'all niggas gotta learn how to move, man. And about being scared, my baby, it's about being cautious, going home to your family, living.
Melly has always been one of the main suspects. Man. Only about an hour and a half after Newski had been killed, Melly would simply tweet a bunch of laughing emojis.
This nigga got the trolling quick, man. That shit crazy. But look though, I'm gonna wrap this up right now for the part 1. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So far, that boy Melly was a savage. He was around here spanking shit. I ain't gonna lie. But y'all go ahead and make sure y'all like, subscribe my shit, man. Give me an algorithm, man, so I can keep pushing out more content for y'all. Subscribe to me, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm out of here. You feel me?